and welcome to today's video. Today I'm here at the Cardiff College because today I'm at the BAFTA Cymru event, and look, I'm press. Like, someone has been stupid enough to give me a press ticket, which is exciting. So they've got some cool panels here all about the industry today, and I've also got some interviews with Minchin and Aled Parry, Ray Holman, and 2 gaming people. I'm very excited about today. It's definitely something, if you're interested in getting into the industry, this is the place to be.
We went to 10 stories with Abby Morgan,
yes.
And it was amazing. We learned a lot. We learned that you've got to change a story, you've got to rewrite, which was really good. Really inspiring.
It's not just about doing one thing, you've got to do the one thing many times before you can actually get to what you want to get to.
Yeah. The favorite thing myself that I actually learned from that panel was something that I never really do myself. It was when they kept saying that the most important thing really is the fact that the stuff she doesn't like is the stuff that she never gets told to cut. And I'm like, I like that, I learned that. But yeah, are you going to any more panels today?
Yeah, we got 3. I got 3 more.
Where are you going?
I got Should I Upload, The Ladder Film, and How to Freelance.
So I just went to the Producing Your First Hour session. I didn't vlog in there because I was actually really interested in that. I've been given a room. I've got my own interview room. This is really weird, and I like it, and I don't. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird. But I'm really enjoying today. I'm really learning a lot, and I really do think that a lot of the people here are learning a lot. I think a lot of the sessions are really interesting. It's not just they're not just talking about stuff that you've heard about. They're not just saying, oh, watch TV, write more. They're telling you why to do it and the places to go. And it's just really interesting to hear people that have been in the industry a long time, and really interesting to see what they have to say. So I really hope they do this event again. So I'm joined by Ray Holman. He's the costume designer on the current series of Doctor Who. In recent years, obviously you've done costumes for Broadchurch and Doctor Who.
Yes.
And I just saw one story, I think it was from your panel that you just did, about how, when you were talking to Matt Smith,
yes,
about how to get his costume,
yes,
and he was reading up a lot about Albert Einstein, I think,
yes,
it was.
Yes.
How important is it that the costume tells a story of the character?
Well, it's very important. I mean, it helps. It helps the actor. I think the most important thing, and because I work very closely with actors, the most important thing is to talk to the actors and get the right thing. But also, you get a variety of costumes. Some costumes will be just a police uniform. Well, that tells a story in itself. That helps the actor. I've just done the split with Nicola Walker. She, for the first time in her career, is dressed in head to toe in expensive power designer wear, which she's not used to wearing, and so that informed her character enormously. Yeah, and I think with each of the doctors, if you don't give those actors a costume that suits them or tells their story, then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important.
Yeah, no, I think he got his costume perfectly. It suited his character. Obviously, costumes can become quite iconic. Like, you've got, you might disagree with me on that, but you've got, for instance, Olivia Colman's orange waterproof.
Yes,
like that suddenly came out of nowhere.
It did, yes.
But it is iconic.
Yes.
Do you, when you're in the process of developing the idea, do you think, oh, that's going to be iconic, that's what everyone thinks, or do you just create it?
No, I just created it. It was, because weirdly, yeah, I have several iconic costumes.
Yeah.
I have, Captain Jack's coat, the Sherlock coat, the Doctor's, and various bits and pieces. Like, for example, now, I mean, yes, Olivia's orange cagoule, but really the idea, I'll tell you the story behind Olivia's orange cagoule, which was a very simple idea. In the story, when we were making Broadchurch 1, her and her husband were very his and hers characters. They lived at the seaside, and I just thought about what they would be. They were a happily married couple, and I just thought, you know what, they'd go walking on the cliffs and they'd have his and hers walking coats, waterproofs. So I bought him a blue one, I bought her an orange one. And then we did a scene where she has to come out at night and talk to Beth, and she's not in a uniform and she's not in her proper coat. So I thought, oh, I'll use the orange cagoule. And suddenly, Chris, the writer, went, "Oh, that orange cagoule is amazing," and then suddenly it got broadcast, and everyone was on about the orange cagoule, and so that was a complete fluke.
It's one of, whenever anyone mentions Broadchurch to me, it's, I just think the orange.
Yeah, she's downstairs. I brought it with me.
So I think I saw that one actually when I was down there. But yeah, just things odd like that. I just wondered.
And when you're doing a Doctor Who costume, for example, you kind of know it's a risk. But you kind of know that's going to become an iconic costume now. Yeah. But it still has to be the best it can possibly be for the actor.
Yeah. I think at the foremost it's still got to tell who the character is.
Yes, and it mustn't dominate the actor. Yeah. So it must just inform.
Yeah. Thank you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
That's right. So I'm joined by Brian Minchin, who is the producer, well, was the producer of Doctor Who. He's done Torchwood, Sarah Jane, and now you work at Hartswood Films, is it? That's right. Is that right? I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what it is like to be a producer. First off, it's a pretty simple question. What is a producer?
So I think a producer is the best job possible. Okay. You get to work with all the creative forces as the writers, the directors, the actors, and all the heads of department, and you get to follow a show right through from where it begins to delivering it. And the producer's job is everything along the way to make that show good.
What advice would you give to someone that's setting out into TV, not necessarily after a producer role, but just wanting to be a cameraman or presenter or anything like that really? What advice would you give?
I would say when I went into TV, I knew I loved television, but I didn't really know what any of the jobs were or how it really worked. Mm-hmm. So if you just go in with an open mind and work hard and try hard to fit into the team around you and just keep trying, then I think I've noticed over the years people that come in like that always end up working somewhere. Sometimes they think they want to be a director, they end up being art directors and loving it. They think they want to be camera DOPs, they end up doing locations. And I think there's loads of fascinating creative roles, and the TV industry at the moment is exploding with very high-end shows. There's lots of stuff around. I think there's loads of really interesting jobs there.
I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
It's been cool talking to you.
Thank you very much.
So me and Alex are from Basketball University. We're finishing our third year in film and television production during the summer. So
what sessions did you go to?
We went to the Blue Planet one, and we just went to ladder film there. Blue Planet was really interesting. Like the way they shoot all the stuff, like how long it took them. They said it took like 4 days. The ladder, I didn't know why it was called the ladder, but I think I understand.
I have no idea why it's called the ladder.
I don't understand why it's called the ladder. I think it's all about getting your foot in the industry.
Fairs, yeah.
Why it's called the ladder, it's the ladder of the industry. Yeah.
So did you find the sessions helped you with what you want to go on to do once you graduate?
I think so, yeah.
For Blue Planet, they went through like how they got from university stages into the industry, and it was interesting because they said that they had so many setbacks, and the main thing is perseverance.
Yeah.
So yeah, they went into runner jobs, which we'll be looking at, and like then onto researchers and things like this. So,
cool. I think this panel here was a bit more relevant to me because I like the fact they're talking about like film and television merging a bit more. When people ask me, they say like, what do you want to do? Do you want to do film or television? It's like kind of down the decision. Like, I have to choose the film or television. No, they're like emerging like media. So I want to work in both. So
I'm always saying I want to do TV drama, but the years go on, I'm like, maybe I want to do film, but I don't know.
They're so similar. They're the same because I think I like it because they can like do the same thing. They have as much importance as film. I treat them equally. So, and I think professionals prove you can treat film and TV equally. So
it's funny because they were saying how they knew they weren't following their dream. So like they were actually, one of them went back to university and studied a completely different course.
That was the cameraman.
He originally studied fine art. And, he knew he didn't want to do that, so he went back and studied something about aquatics or something, and now he's a cinematographer for.
Pretty different.
And it's interesting. It's all about making that decision, you know, on the time. It's all about pursuing the decision and not kind of sticking with it for opportunity.
Just went into to the panel all about reality and constructed television, which is really interesting because I don't really have an interest in reality TV at all. It's not really my thing, but it was quite interesting to see how they go about casting, and they're all about when they cast people, even in TV drama really, they look for people that can tell stories, and they're just going to be interested and they're going to be able to tell a story. One thing that really resonated with me though was when they were talking about how to get a job in TV, and I've recently done a few days, about 10 days on a TV production myself, which is out soon. I can't really say anything yet, but I was a runner on there, I was a trainee runner, and they were saying is, don't be ashamed to be a runner. Like it's a good thing to be, because you can learn all the roles, and in a way you can become a better producer or director for that reason, because you're a runner, because you get to understand what everyone's doing. So yeah, it was really nice to hear them say that, especially someone in such a position, such as a producer. So yeah, don't be ashamed to be a runner. But I've got a few more interviews to do, and then it's a wrap party. But it's been a really good day so far. I've learned so much, and I think half the people that I've spoken to, well, even all the people I've spoken to, really have learned a lot. And fingers crossed, this is a stepping stone to getting into the industry myself, because I've got 3 weeks left at uni, so it's stressful times. So I'm here joined with Aled. He's an executive producer, and he's here to talk about freelancing. As someone that is starting out in this industry, yeah, what would be your advice for aspiring freelancers, really?
Basically, if you are in university, don't stay in university, get into the industry, get to know people, because you'd be amazed at how this industry works. It's all about people, it's all about connections. And the funny thing about it is jobs don't happen when you want them to happen. Yeah. So if you get to know people, they get to like you. Of course, you're going to be at the front of that list when those jobs come up. Yeah. And big productions take time. They take time to sort of financing to land in place. Mm-hmm. So the more communication, the more comms you've got with people, the likelier you are to land that job.
So I'm joined with Katie and John from Triangular Pixels. Obviously I don't know much about gaming, but I'm going to try and learn a bit about gaming.
I started off in games design, which is basically the story, what the player is going to be experiencing, maybe the level layout, or even what the levels are, things like that.
Okay.
Whereas I'm technical director of Triangular Pixels. I focus on pretty much anything technical, so that means doing a lot of the programming, overseeing the other programming work by the people in our studio. It also means managing the technical risk element, managing the technical risk element of things, also things like looking after the website.
Practical stuff.
And the day-to-day business of keeping the studio running.
I'm not a gamer myself, but when I was younger I used to play like things like my Game Boy Advance, and I played like Pokemon and all that. Mm-hmm. When I look at the graphics of that and compare it to what my friends are playing, like things like Far Cry, I think is one of the games they're playing, and I'm like, where did this happen? Like, it's like 20 years different, and it's...
How about your mobile phone?
Yeah. How do you, like, how?
Maths.
It generally looks real life, and it's amazing.
I mean, yeah, the advancement in the industry has been incredible, and that's partly just because computers have got better. We've got better at taking, in general, as games have gone on, they've started off just being made by programmers. Mm-hmm. Something like Space Invaders, like there was probably a programmer who did the whole thing, and that meant they did the art. And it looks pixely and blobby and whatever. And actually the evolution of the games industry has largely been about getting programmers away from the bits they shouldn't be messing with, and giving control to people like Katie, who are creative and artistic, and actually thinking about what emotion should the player be experiencing. Well, how you think about a level, which is taking them through things. And so a lot of the advancements, particularly recently, has been the tooling. So you've got things like Unreal Engine and Unity Engine. A lot of what they focus on is giving tools to creative people like Katie and yourself. Because if you wanted to edit a video, you wouldn't want to have to be programming to do all the cuts, but you've got tools, powerful tools, that let you do that. And that lets you see what you're going to see at the end. That's what's been one of the biggest drivers, and tools are still getting better.
It's not to say as well that you still don't get those pixel games. You still have those pixel games. You can think about it in terms of animation film industry. Just because we've got CG animation doesn't mean they don't still do 2D pen drawing animation or plasticine. It just basically, that sort of super realistic opens up another creative area for us as game designers and makers. But we still go back and do pixel stuff. So actually, interestingly, our current game, Smash It Blender, that is pixely world, but it's in virtual reality. So you're walking around this first-person VR world, just looking like an old Game Boy game.
So that is the end of the event. It has been a really interesting day learning from everyone. I keep saying this, but it's been really interesting, even from the game people who obviously, I'm not a massive gamer myself. It was really interesting to hear what they have to say about that industry and about the future of gaming, and because in a way the future of gaming heavily impacts the future of TV and film, so that was really interesting to listen to, really. But I definitely learned a lot. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope the people that came learned a lot. And fingers crossed I get to do more stuff like this in the future. And yeah, that has been BAFTA Guru Live Cardiff 2018. I'll be back very soon with a new video. Make sure you go and check out all my social media, and I'll be back soon. Bye.